But when you have individuals trying to attack you, that attack your work ethic, that attack your success, that are trying to take away everything that you've worked so hard to get, are you only going to use the light, or are you going to use your aggression? Are you going to use your controlled rage? Are you going to use those things to protect you? And if you haven't acknowledged your dark side and you haven't tapped into it, think about this. When does a new day start? At midnight. Is it light or dark out? If a new day starts in the dark, why are you afraid to use your dark side for your new beginnings? But if you harness it, it takes you to places that you couldn't even imagine. And every single winner in all forms of life will all tap into that energy, the light energy, the dark energy. They use everything. They use everything. The dark side turns your anger into controlled rage. Now you're in control. You're in control. Now, how long can you stay in control? That's the difference. Are you going to burn out right away? All of a sudden you just let out all this rage? Or do you know how to control it and place it in the right places? Not only to win the battle, but to win that war. Every single moment, all the time with ourselves. All the time. And you can't win that war with only light. You can't. Everybody wants to win, but in order to know how to win, you gotta know how to lose. Because you're gonna lose more than you're gonna win. But every time you lose, what do you gain from it? So every time I've lost, people say, you gotta jump right back up. You know, get back right on your feet again. And I disagree with that. After you lose, or when you get knocked down, stay down there for a minute. Understand why you lost. What were the reasons? Why are you down here? Why did you lose? Why did you get knocked down? Because if you just jump right back up, you're gonna lose again. And again, and you continue to lose the same way. So every time I lost, I stayed down for a second. Minutes, hours, days, weeks. But when I stood up, I was different. I was smarter. And when I lost again, I stayed down. I stood back up. I was stronger. When I lost again, I stayed down. How did I stand up again? I was more confident. Lost again. Stood up. I was more resilient. Now you start putting the pieces that are necessary to win over and over and over again. So if you lose and you jump right back up and you haven't really changed, really changed from that loss, you're never going to learn from it, and you're never going to really, truly know the unforgiving race to greatness, because that's part of the unforgiving part, is the losing part. That part is unforgiving. But winning and losing wants to know what's inside of you. It wants to know what makes you tick. It wants to know what your desires are. It wants to know what your ego is. It wants to know what your limitations are. It wants to know what your mindset is. It wants to know everything about you, because winning does not lie. When you look in the mirror, you can lie and see what's on the surface. You cannot lie what's going on inside. It requires you to go so far deep inside yourself. It's it's way beyond the surface. It's way beyond internal. It's going to a place that a lot of people haven't visited in a long, long time because they're afraid to visit that person, because when they visit that person, they don't know who that person is anymore. These are the things that allow me to be different. It's what allows me to be unique, because winning wants you to be different. Winning requires you to do different things. Winning requires you to think in a different way. Winning speaks its own language. Winning has its own way of recognizing you. A lot of routines in the morning that people go through, it's a process. It's a process to get you either closer to winning or farther. Think about the times everything was going wrong. Nothing was going right. What kept you going? What kept you going? When there was no friends around, there was no family, you were in that place, what kept you going? But that was your dark energy. That was your dark side. Our ability to see those wins, to process those wins, to understand them, right? That's what makes the mind sharp. That's what keeps you focused. That's what keeps you alive. The illness is not to pursue something every day that gives you a feeling like nothing else can. From being able to get that mindset, from being able to get that neurochemical change in the brain and being able to feel that is confidence. And winning gives you that confidence. Every time you get that chemical change, you get that hit from every little win that you get, your level of confidence goes up. Your level of confidence continues. It continues to rise. It gives you the ability to have more wins. And over and over and over again, every time you win. And this story gets me every time. So when people say, it didn't hurt, it still hurts. I can't be anybody else. My dedication to my craft and what it took to excel, and what it took to be different, and what it took to stand by unpopular decisions of others, knowing that every successful person that I've met, every successful person that I know had to make those decisions over and over again. But if you harness it, and all tap into that energy, you're in control. I don't have highs about it or lows about it. I know it has to get done.